Hey, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm Wood. In this series we're comparing two accounts that I started at the same time on the same day, and I'm playing the same way with one major difference. One account is free to play, the other has a monthly spending budget. It's day 52. Let's check our progress. Thanks for joining me again today. I hope you're well. With day 52 here, I'm going to go up and collect our daily login reward, and we're going to get an ancient shard today. Awesome. Not a lot of progress to talk about really today. We got the dragon tournament done on both accounts. You can see I collected the epic book, so I probably won't be putting too much more energy into the 3x speed, although I don't think that's ever a bad idea. I want to get back to champ training. I've been training up some food since I finished that, and getting a bunch of 4-star food trained up. And on the free-to-play account here, I'm going to get Armiger up to a 6-star so that we can start making some more progress in Fire Knight. I think Fire Knight is the best place to farm in the game right now as far as dungeons go. We need Savage gear. We need something to get us started so that we can make progress in all the places in the game that'll allow us to eventually get to the really good gear. We need stun gear. We need Savage gear. I just opened up Fire Knight here just to look. Obviously not a lot of people use the Fury set. Hardly anybody uses curing anymore. There's better options. I mean, curing can be good on a couple of healer champions, but I have found that it's actually better to use some of the other sets, just in my own personal experience. Immunity is kind of out of fashion now, but we do need shield sets still. As long as you don't have bolster, you need shield sets. And also, actually, you do need shield sets because the bolster can't be extended. It's protected, and that means it can't be extended. So it's actually, the protection on it can be a bad thing. Bolster's good in arena, but if you're building one of those, infinity teams with Wixwell or something, you need shield set. So crit damage is a very good fill-in set. If you have Savage, you can either use crit damage or cruel, and it kind of gives you the same thing. More crit damage versus ignore defense. Usually crit damage comes out, kind of almost the same as cruel set. Frenzy nobody really uses, but yeah, regen, stun, Savage. We really need those gear sets, and they're I think Fire Knight's the most important dungeon to be able to farm, and we just didn't have any turn meter control really available to us on the free to play. We've been extremely lucky with shard pulls, and we've gotten some really good champions, but you can't escape the fact that the turn meter control is really important when we get to Fire Knight. So I'm going to build up the Armiger just to give us that option. He needs to be able to survive also in the waves and everything. So a comp with maybe a Seer and an Armiger and a couple of other champions to help us open the shield. I think that'll help get us ready so that we can do better on Fire Knight. So I'm going to just keep doing champ training. Nothing, like I said, nothing really interesting has been happening other than, just finishing that dragon tournament. Actually, there is one interesting thing. We did get to level 52 on both accounts. We crossed that threshold, and that opens up Curse City for us. Unfortunately, Curse City, even on normal mode, they don't call it easy. They call it normal, and it is. It's normal, but it's hard. Wait, that's hard mode. Let's go to normal. Yeah. So on normal mode, yeah, it defaults to hard mode. But yeah, on normal mode, we're kind of limited, as far as what we can use. I'm just gonna go in here, and I've got Skrank. I don't even have Skrank really built yet. But let's just see what we can do in here. All right, so we go in. Oh, and it starts out on 1x speed. Oh, well, that's nice. I mean, but this is allowing us to use some of our champions that we use regularly. So it's not too much of a surprise that we can actually make some progress here. As long as we can make progress in Curse City, it's just picking up rewards. It doesn't cost us any energy. It doesn't cost us any. The only thing it is keys, and they're keys that you get every day no matter what you do. So I think it's good to go in. I just don't want to spend a lot of time in places where we get stuck and put a bunch of resources into champions or gear. In Curse City, the rewards aren't so big, especially on normal. The rewards aren't so big that we want to put a bunch of resources into earning them. But if we can get them, for free while we're doing everything else that we're doing, I think it makes perfect sense. Yeah, see, we're okay on these. This is pretty easy mode here. I'm actually surprised. I thought level 52, even for normal mode, I thought that was going to be a little bit too early to be able to do Curse City, but looks like we can handle it. Oh, and I didn't mention it before, but bluish green, greenish blue border around the free-to-play account, no border around the budget. Sometimes I get into a routine and tunnel vision. I forget to make those reminders, but yeah, I think we're going to be okay on the first few stages, especially on this easy part. I mean, I know it's going to be a lot more difficult, when we get into the other state, or not. I don't know. Do you call them stages? Areas? Are they called areas in Curse City? There's 4 areas. One of them is Soul Cross, and I know that's the hard one. It's funny. I've done Curse City every month that it's come out on my main account. And I haven't really learned the names of anything. Yeah, that's 50 energy. You see, that's worth it. It's worth it if you've got some champions built that can do these stages. I'm gonna go back out here and look. Where are we at? Cobble Market. That's it. Okay, so Cobble Market is the easy one. And it looks like we'll be able to do quite a few of these stages. So that's great. I think, this is wonderful. And then we've got Dead Rise over here and Plague Home and then Soul Cross. So, yeah, Soul Cross. Soul Cross is difficult. Even, it's funny. Some of these stages, some of the bosses, because their mechanics always work the same way, like the Dark Fae here, if you don't have champions built, in those certain categories, like for example, there's no way we could do this right now, but I don't know, eventually. But yeah, I'm just going to keep, I'll be able to work on this for a little while. I should have done it earlier today when I opened it up. I just didn't have time, but yeah, there's not a lot of restrictions here. So 5 factions. So almost a third of your roster is available to you. And I guess, I don't know, maybe some of those factions are average, some of the early ones that people do. We'll see. Yeah, I'm just kind of surprised that we're able to do this early. But that's good. I'm glad. We're going to be able to pick up some rewards, and eventually we'll get stuck, and we'll get stuck on some of the bosses just because of the way they work, and we won't be ready to do them yet. But as our roster keeps expanding, we'll be able to do more every month, and it's just free rewards. So it's really kind of a nice thing. What I have found with doing this, especially with Soul Crossed on hard mode, getting to a point, like unless you're going to be able to complete the whole thing, it doesn't make sense to spend a whole bunch of time and resources on one stage, on one more stage, unless you're going to be able to do the whole thing. Doing the whole thing is worth it. But I got to a point where I've never finished Soul Cross completely yet, and I got to a point where I was working so hard on these, one stage at a time, and putting a ton of silver and moving stun sets around and everything, and building up champions just to finish those stages. And then I realized, it's just not worth it to just get that one stage done. Now, if you're close to being able to complete it, then yeah, I think it makes total sense to go after it. But I got to a point where I was like, it's not worth the hassle to be able to do this. But eventually I'm going to get to a point where I can complete the whole thing, and then it will make sense to put those resources in, because the reward for completing it is significant. I don't know about this one. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I don't have any damage here that'll work. So, yeah, Bommel's a no-go on that one. But yeah, that's exciting. We'll be able to pick up some rewards here, and it'll be nice. Yeah, see, I've got options on most of these levels. I don't know if that's the right choice or not, but we'll see. Actually, Taragi can probably any of the places where I can use Taragi, he can probably solo. He's been so good on the budget account because he's in regen gear, and so he just keeps himself up. The other thing that we were able to do, Doom Tower yesterday, I got to, what was it, floor 30. So Doom Tower this time, floor 30 was Scarab. And on the budget account, I was able to get by Scarab, even though it's Force Affinity this time. And Taragi's obviously Magic Affinity, so he's weak affinity to the Scarab. So I was a little nervous that he wouldn't be able to solo it, but he did. He got through it just fine. Fortunately, on level 30 of normal Doom Tower, the Scarab doesn't hit very hard, and so he was able to keep himself alive while the poisons just ticked down the Scarab boss. I wasn't able, however, to do it on my free-to-play, and that's just because I don't have my Taragi on the free-to-play geared as well as the Taragi on the budget account. And that's not because of budget, that's just because we got really lucky with a regen set on the budget account, whereas we didn't get so lucky with the free-to-play. And as I get some more, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do a lot of Fire Knight. The regen gear is so helpful, especially if you're doing any of the bosses. Really, it makes sense to use regen gear, especially if you're using a solo strategy like Taragi to finish those and complete them. So yeah, I think the regen gear will be really nice, and that would help us in clan boss as well. Yeah, it's fun to be able to do. It's fun to be able to do some Cursed City, and then to be able to do Doom Tower as well. We're going to be able to move on in Doom Tower here. I'm a little bit stuck, like I said, on the free to play account. So we'll get there, and just waiting for an artifact enhancement to open up so I have some artifact enhancement I want to do to be able to improve some of my builds. Oh, that Grinner revived that Grave Chill killer. Grinner's actually pretty good. I kind of like Grinner, but the problem is there's so many good options in Undead that usually you outgrow him so fast that it doesn't make sense to put resources into him. But I think what a lot of people do, eventually you're going to pull a Gorgorab on Undead. And I think that's what a lot of people use because, he's got a full team revive instead of just the one. And I was looking on Undead, and I was thinking, well, now who's the other, who else do we have for reviving other than Siphi? But Gorgorab is a really good one. And I think a lot of people use him. I don't see anybody else. I'm just looking at the index here and on the other account. Oh, we finished. Okay. I'll move this along here. Ooh, we don't have an awakened. Yeah, we have 1 star awakened here that we could use, so that's not going to work. And then Nether Spider, let's see, do we have a cleanser available to us? Adriel doesn't do any cleansing, does she? That's the other really cool thing about Cursed City is that you can look up your champions this way with the champion filter, and then you can look at your other effects and do your positive and remove debuffs. No champions fit your chosen criteria. See, so that's nice to be able to just clear that up. And then you make sure that you've got both the Master Vault and the Reserve Vault checked here, which it does by default when you go into Cursed City, so that's nice too. But yeah, cool. So yeah, Nether Spider's a no-go. We were able to do Nether Spider, but it was just because we overpowered him with damage on normal, early stages of normal Doom Tower. But in this Nether Spider, where we're limited as to what we can use, that's not going to be probably an option. Although I'll try it. Why not? The AIs also on Nether Spider, the AIs will stop you from using AoE attacks, and so you kind of have to force your champions to do the AoE attacks to be able to kill the spiderlings, because that's really the only way that you're going to survive if you don't have a cleanser. Lifesteal's keeping her healed up, and she's strong. Oh no, we're dead now. Poison sensitivity, lots more poisons. We're dead on the next turn. Yep. Okay. Well, failed experiment. That's okay. On Doom Tower, the Nether Spider that we beat is only on floor 20. Yeah, and he's at 75. So that's a little bit easier than a level 100 Nether Spider. So we did beat that one, but I was actually kind of surprised that we did. It was just through brute force that we were able to beat that. So I'm waiting for artifact enhancement to start. let's see, do we have something? Yeah, we do. We've got artifact enhancement coming up tomorrow, so that'll be good to be able to put some resources into some improving some of our builds and solidifying our clan boss teams a little bit more. It was really nice to be able to collect 2 chests for clan boss this morning. For Demon Lord clan boss, we were able to get 2 chests for each of the difficulties, so that was really great. It's nice to be in a good clan that's putting clan boss down. Our clan isn't putting down Ultra Nightmare yet, but I'm not down there yet anyway helping, so hopefully I'll be able to help and contribute pretty soon to putting down Ultra Nightmare. But yeah, we're in Brutal. I was a pretty comfortable 2-key. I think I mentioned yesterday that I was kind of a comfortable 2-key, and I was like a few 100,000 damage short on the free-to-play of doing the 2-key. And then with the budget, we're kind of neck and neck, just every once in a while some bad RNG and you have a bad run. And so we're doing okay. But yeah, I did have to put 3 keys into both for the budget and the free-to-play account to be able to do Brutal. But we're collecting 2 chests a day instead of just the 1. So that's why being in another clan really helps. It's really nice. The other great thing about Cursed City, it doesn't cost you any more than just the key that you're using, and you don't lose anything by just trying a stage. So even if you don't feel like you're ready for Cursed City yet, or any stage that you get to, it's worth a shot. You can go ahead and try it, and you're not really penalized for it other than your time. So that's pretty nice as well. But that's pretty much all I had for today. I hope you're well. Thanks again to everybody. If you wouldn't mind taking some time to go on the video that I did yesterday, the day 51 video that I did yesterday. Kyle kind of introduced himself a little bit more to me, and it's not my story to tell, but he's got some very admirable qualities, and I really appreciate his kindness in inviting us into the Cannabis Crusaders clan, and for the things that he's done in his life. He seems like a very admirable person, and I think we're all trying to do the best we can, but it's really cool to see people doing some admirable things and accomplishing some things to improve their lives, and so I encourage you to go look at the comments and read what Kyle is doing in his life. He's in our clan. His handle is USN Stone Sober, and I just thought it was kind of funny that Stone Sober guy is in the Cannabis Crusader. I love it. So anyway, it's a pleasure to be in the clan, and I think this is a clan that sort of fits where we are in the game. We're a little bit behind some of the rest of the guys that are in this clan, but hopefully we'll make enough progress to be able to catch up soon and be able to contribute and help. So again, thank you to Kyle, and thank you to everybody else in the clan for accepting me in and letting me be here while I'm doing this crazy experiment. And so I'll just keep. I'm committed to doing this for a full year, and I'm not really too focused on this yet. But the plan kind of for the 2 accounts, once I get done with the year that I'm committed to, I think the plan is to do some kind of a giveaway or something like that. I think that might be kind of fun if we have enough viewers and interest. If somebody does want to take over both of the accounts after I finish, I think that might be kind of fun. Maybe do a random drawing for both, for people who want to participate. I thought that might be kind of a nice idea. Like I said, it's not something I put a lot of thought into, because it's not really, it feels like a long time away, but we're about a month and a half in now, so it's not that far really. I mean, time goes by pretty fast. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to go through today. I'm just going to keep making more food and getting another 6-star on each account so I can make some more progress on the Arbiter missions. I'm continuing every, I try to stay up on it while I'm playing every 15 minutes to go check into Classic Arena, making sure that we're still building up our gold, what are they, bars or token? I don't know. There's so many currencies in this game. It's hard to keep straight I know what they all do. I just don't know what they're all called. But we're just trying to earn as much currency as we can to improve our Great Hall bonuses. because that's really the major block when you get to your arbiter missions. Having 3 of them up to 10 is a pretty big deal. So I'm just going to keep working on that and hoping that by the time we get there that it won't be too much of a time gate when in those missions. So thank you for watching. If you're watching this when it comes out, I hope you have a great weekend. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.